All right, glad to have you back. The Southwest Zone of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, that's IPMAN of Nigeria, on Monday threatened to shut down its operations across the region if the 30 tankers arrested by the Lagos State government were not released. The chairman of IPMAN Western Zone, Mr. Joseph Akoni, stated this while speaking with journalists in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. Mr. Akoni expressed the association's support for the petroleum tanker drivers, PTD, and other stakeholders in the industry over the issue, saying, according to his words, injury to one is injury to all. He explained that the 30 tankers, each bearing 45,000 liters of premium motor spirit, were towed out of Dangote refinery at about 3 a.m. on Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. He said the vehicles and drivers were arrested by the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, that's LASTMA, under the Ministry of Transportation in Lagos, and were placed at the LASTMA yard in Oshodi. Well, let's talk more about this and understand the issues and other issues surrounding the downstream sector. I have the immediate past chairman of the Independent Petroleum Market Association of Nigeria, Southwest Zone, Mr. Dele Tajudeen. It's good to have you in the studio.
Good afternoon, Tolu, and good afternoon, viewers. Yes.
It's good to have you here again. I don't know why there's always an issue forward, but tell us practically what happened with regards to the stowing of these vehicles and where are we with the situation? Okay.
First of all, let me say that I have the authority of the SONA chairman,
okay,
Basaron Joseph Akani Oyewole, to be here on his behalf because he's busy in Ibadan doing one thing or the other.
Okay.
And I also want to state that I'm here to represent all the stakeholders in the industry as it concerns this invasion of Dangote refinery by LASTMA and their agents and taking out our vehicles out of the refineries. Well, let me start by saying that because I call it invasion, because you will imagine how could somebody go to arrest and tow vehicle at 2-3 a.m. in the wee hours of the day. That is unacceptable. Number two, what are the offenses of these drivers? And I must say here that if you recollect that the other time I said it here, that we don't allow tankers to travel in the night because of hijackers, and of course, because of accident that we notice that it happens mostly in the night. Yes, this, especially LASTMA, is becoming too much of them. It's not limited to tankers alone, but if you sample opinion of people, the LASTMA is overdoing their things and they are doing it beyond their boundaries. And I think it will be important for Lagos State government to actually, especially the Commissioner for Information, to highlight the responsibilities of LASTMA to people. Because you see situation where LASTMA take up people's vehicle, enter people's vehicle, drives people's vehicle. And I know their core things to do is to manage the traffic. So what happened then was that they towed about 30 vehicles from Dangote refineries. They loaded trucks of 45,000 liters each.
Loaded?
Loaded with petrol. And you know the implication of that, petrol is volatile, is flammable, and if anything should happen, it will have consumed people around and everybody, and even the properties. Yeah. So we are amazed that, but I must thank the SONA chairman of PTD, Alhaji Bolahan, aka Obamobi, who quickly intervened and that cautioned the tanker driver not to, go into any fracas with them. Otherwise, the LASTMA, they don't have monopoly of violence. So that was why everything went on fine. And I want to say that in the industry, we are law-abiding citizens. We are civil in our behavior, but what happened is unacceptable. And that was the reason why we have to speak the language that government understands. And I wonder why government is not doing anything about what LASTMA has been doing, despite complaints from every nook and cranny of Lagos State. And more importantly, there is one Mr. Sholagiwa who is SA to
well, let me come in there before you continue. I spoke to Mr. Sholagiwa. I asked him some questions because as a journalist, you need to balance your reports. And he said there was a parking bay that they tried to pick up, use the call-up system that they use in Apapa, tried to use that also for the Dangote refinery thing. And maybe there was an argument on an amount to be paid or not to be paid. And maybe that's where the issues are coming up from, which he says the services will not be rendered free. So, you know, so that's why I wanted, because, so you go on with what you say, but I spoke to him and that is what he said.
I was Sona chairman of IPMAN for 5 years.
Yes, I know.
I stand to be corrected, and I stand to challenge him that I have never been called to any meeting as I speak with you. At least as Sona chairman of IPMAN, if anything is going on,
yes, you should be
I'm
aware.
supposed to be represented. And of course, ask him, have they provided all the necessary things before they can start asking for money? And they're asking for about 12,500.
For each truck?
Yes, for each truck. And another, whether the energy department is also asking for 10,000. You see, what is happening in this country is that once people are in power, you give them little power, they misuse it, they call their friends to come and give proposals, and they want to make money out of people. That is not acceptable. Because at the end of the day, this kind of amount will be passed on to customers. Petroleum industry has been deregulated. We do pay, the firms normally 5% VAT to federal government, which is distributed to every state of Nigeria. So what kind of money they want to collect from? It's not acceptable. We are not going to accept that. They are not providing any provision for us to where are going to park. So, but is that enough to go and tow vehicles? Now they have damaged our vehicles. They have vandalized our products. They have tampered with products. The products even were, we checked, and the product was not even in use, so they went and packed it somewhere. So they have tampered with our products. And above all, any sane person will know that it is not right to take a vehicle with loaded PMS and go and keep. It is unsafe. It is not fair. So, and for me, our driver has not done anything wrong. Because if they are sure of what they are talking about, why 2 a.m.? Why 2 a.m.? So, I think, but we look at it that we have to protest against that in a civil way. In a civil way, and that's what we have done. And I must commend the Sona chairman of PTD, who really managed the situation very well. He has done his best. And as of today, as of yesterday, our drivers were released. And today, I think with the intervention of His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. In fact, he was far away in Ondo State yesterday when the Chief of Staff called him. That is Mr. Tayo Ayinde Akimade. I must commend him too for quick intervention. He called him, and the governor gave a directive that everything must be put in place. Even though we have not concluded, but in our own way of life too, we know that the masses are going to suffer for it.
Exactly. I started seeing queues even this morning.
So we have called off the strike.
Beautiful.
And work can start now. Why? We believe that we are going to resolve the issue amicably. But having said that, there are things that we will not accept.
Go ahead.
Yes. The issue of LASTMA, we will resist it. And if nothing is done, we have the option of going to court. Maybe they are ignorant of what the law says about disruption of petroleum movement and the rest. Is in the Act of 1975, and anybody that commits such crime is either death penalty or less than 21 years imprisonment. It's there. The laws are there. So we are not ignorant of it. We know the right thing to do. But if they are not called to order, next, when anything happens like that, we will have no other option than to go to court. And we will ensure that we see to the end of it. But for the benefit of the masses, yes, we like to be civil. We like to be in good terms with government so that everything will go up. And I believe that with the promise of the Mr. Governor, I think the issues will be resolved amicably soon. But I want to tell this house that we have call off the strike and work has started in all the depot.
You know, there's another issue too, brewing in Abuja too already. I think it's also with IPMAN, with the bridging fees and all of that from the NMDPRA. That is also another issue that has to do with IPMAN.
Yes, yes, it is. You see, I can't understand why.
But 100 billion naira.
Why government always take us for granted. You will recall that the industry has been deregulated.
Yes.
And prior to the regulation of industry, you know the issue of this transportation fare.
Yes, yes.
That is, for a layman to understand, at that time, when you take a product from here to Maiduguri, because they want to sell at the same price in Lagos now. So governments mix up the payment of the transportation. These are the monies that are being held by NMDPRA. And of course, at source, we marketer contribute to that fund, which is called equalization fund. We contribute as we are paying for the product, we are contributing to that purse. So now the question is that after so many years, why are they not paying? People are pushed to the wall. There have been several meetings, there have been several agreements on this issue of Petroleum Equalization Fund, which are being held by which government is showing our marketers. So I want to advise the government, especially the NMDPRA, to facilitate the payment of this money, because you can't buy a product on credit, even with 1 naira from NMPC. So why, the question is, where is the money and why are they not paying? So my advice for them is, because it is not in our best interest to go on strike. It is only when we have no option left that we resort into that. And we have sounded a warning now that if you don't do this, this is what we are going to do. Having had several meetings, several agreements, I think it's not out of place. And like I said, apart from doing that, we still have the option of going to court to address the issue.
It sounds good. So Nigerians should expect that movement of petroleum products will continue while other issues are being deliberated upon.
So, but I want to critically advise His Excellency and the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Lagos State, who has been proactive in addressing the issue, that they should make the agreement real. It's because, like I said, I'm telling you with a sense of responsibility that we are not going to take it lightly with LASTMA again. They are becoming too much in Lagos. They are overdoing things. They are extorting money from people. They have their agents that collect money for them. Well,
you know, they have the right of reply to all of this, and I'll make sure that I also get them to answer some of these questions, you know, or these allegations of extortion and all of that. We are going to also ask them questions, and this is an open invite even to them.
Tolu, believe you me, nobody is going to accept to that. But we know, and masses knows. They have POS.
Up to some of these things.
They have POS agents
We have to start to own up to some of these things so that we can address them.
So in fact, we are going to educate people, and people should rise up to the occasion. People should not be, because in most cases, they will arrest vehicle, and they will tell you, if we take you to Alausa, we are going to pay 100,000, but if you don't want us to take you to Alausa, it's 50,000. They have done it to my children. And they have specific POS people that receive the money for them. Yes, this is a fact. Sample opinion in Lagos State.
Well, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. And I'm going to speak to...
Just go around and sample people's opinion. I was on a radio station today, and almost 90% of people that spoke on radio attested to it. So it's a known fact. It's not, I mean, it's not an issue that we need to hide. LASTMA, they are doing us bad in Lagos State, and they are created for a good purpose of controlling the traffic, but instead they see it as a way of making Nigerians. But it's going to come to a point where people are pushed to the wall, and we are going to resist it.
I'm going to make sure that I throw another invitation to Mr. Sholagiwa. We spoke yesterday, and I'm still going to try to talk to him. There are a lot of questions that needs to be answered, and even around the operations of LASTMA and all of this that has been happening with regards to even the petroleum tanker drivers, because that is very sensitive. If these trucks don't move, they won't be flown around the country, and that's going to cause another problem entirely. Mr. Dele Tajuddin, thank you so much. I understand how this is, for your business and, of course, members and all of that. But let's hope that we get an amicable resolution at the end of the day with all that has been discussed today. He is the immediate past zonal chairman of Southwestern Zone of IPMAN there, speaking to us about all of these issues surrounding movement of products and all of that, loading and all of it. Thank you. But at least we take the good news that the strike has been put on hold while negotiation continues.
But please kindly escalate it that the agreements must be adhered to.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure the Lagos State government and everyone is listening to us. I will also try to get them, of course, to get their views with regards to this. Thank you so much again.
Please let them know there's a law.
You said that already. Yes, and it's in the Petroleum Act. Thank you so much. That's our time. I must thank you so much for your time on the show.